Okay, so let us continue the discussion on a new section of the CGST Act. So what topics we have covered till today? We have only covered section 9, or you can say section 5 of the IGST Act. That is the only topic which we have covered. This section, section 9 of the CGST, is nothing but levy and collection. If you remember, under section 9, tax can be paid under three different categories. Either as per forward charge, where supplier is under obligation to deposit the tax GST with the government of India, or reverse charge, where recipient of some goods and services is supposed to pay tax to the government of India, and in one case, electronic commerce operator, where electronic commerce operator is supposed to deposit this tax with the government of India. So if you remember, forward charge cases are covered under section 9 subsection 1. Charge cases are covered under section 9 subsection 3 and 9 subsection 4, and electronic commerce operator cases are covered under section 9 subsection 5. I hope you remember this point. Please raise your hand if you remember these points. Okay, so now let me start a new topic, composition levy. Composition levy scheme. I hope you remember the topics of presumptive taxation under Income Tax Act 1961. Under Income Tax Act 1961, topics of presumptive taxation are given in sections 44AD, 44ADA and 44AE. Under PGBP, profits and gains of business or profession, these three sections are given: 44AD, 44ADA and 44AE. These sections simplify the provisions of Income Tax Act. The purpose of these sections, which deals with presumptive taxation, is to simplify the provisions of Income Tax Act 1961, where if the aggregate turnover does not exceed, or if the turnover of the businessman does not exceed 2 crore rupees or different limit, then he or she can pay tax, or he can treat the business income directly at 8% or 6% depending upon the cases, if you remember these sections. Why I am discussing this section right now with you is under GST laws also. To simplify the provisions, there is a scheme of presumptive taxation which is known as the scheme of composition levy. So rather than presumptive taxation, we use the word composition levy in GST laws. The purpose of this scheme is also the same, that it simplifies the provisions for middle class businessmen, you can say, but for those businessmen whose turnover does not exceed a specified ceiling. So let me show you the act, CGST Act section 10, and then I will simplify the language of the act. But first let me read the original language of the act along with you. So let me share the screen where I will show you section 10 of the CGST Act, which deals with this presumptive taxation, which is known as composition levy scheme. So this is the original CGST Act 2017. Let me show it to you. I hope this screen is visible now. This is my section 10 of the CGST Act, composition levy. And now let me read it for you. Section 10, subsection 1. Now what it says: notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in this act. What do you mean by this line? That it does not matter what other sections of the act says. What section 10 subsection 1 says is final. notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in this act, that it does not matter even if something opposite is written in other provisions of the act. What I am saying, I means section 10 subsection 1 says is final, but subject to the provisions of subsection 3 and 4 of section 9. But 10 subsection 1 is not supreme than 9.3 and 9.4. And if you remember, section 9 subsection 3 and 9 subsection 4, these are reverse charge cases. These are those cases where tax is supposed to be paid on reverse charge basis. So section 10 subsection 1 is supreme than other sections, but it cannot bypass the provisions of section 9.3 and 9.4. This is one point. A registered person. Now what this section says, a registered person whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year, not current year. If my turnover in the preceding financial last year did not exceed 50 lakh rupees, if last year my turnover was till 50 lakh rupees, then what can I do this year? I may opt to pay, that means it is not compulsory, it is an optional scheme. You may opt to pay in lieu of the tax payable by him. In lieu of the tax payable by him, that means rather than paying the tax as per the eligible normal rate, what you can pay? An amount calculated at such rate as may be prescribed. So what do you mean by word prescribed? That means check the rules, CGST rules. So rather than paying the normal tax, simply pay the tax at such rate which is written in the rules, but not exceeding. But whatever rate is written in the rules, that can never exceed what the act says. And what act says? Clause A. It says 1% of the turnover in state or turnover in UT in case of a manufacturer. So if you are a manufacturer, and do remember that you cannot manufacture these services, only goods can be manufactured, because only goods can be processed. You can provide the services, but you cannot manufacture the services. So by default, this clause A is applicable for manufacturer of goods. That what is the central tax rate, CGST rate? 1% of the turnover in the state or in the UT where you are operating. So rather than paying normal tax, you can directly pay 1% CGST of the turnover in state. But this is the maximum. I don't know what is currently prescribed. I have to show you that. The act is using the language and amount calculated at such rate as may be prescribed. So I don't know what is exactly prescribed. This is the maximum. It is possible that the current rates are less than this rate, but current rates can never exceed this rate, because this is what the act says, and you cannot do anything which violates the act. Similarly, in some cases the rate is not 1% central tax, it is 2.5% of turnover. And what are those cases? 2.5% of the turnover in state or UT in case of those persons who are engaged in making supplies which are referred to in clause B of paragraph 6 of schedule 1. So the name of supply is not written. For this, the act says read schedule 2, read paragraph 6 and read clause B. So let me show you schedule 2. Schedules are always written in the last portion of the act. So directly you go to the last portion and let me show you schedule 2. If we can see, this is schedule 2. Okay, this is schedule 2. In this act was saying what? Check paragraph 6. This is my 6th paragraph. This is my 6th paragraph. And in that, if you remember the act, it was saying clause B, and this is my clause B. It says supply by way of or as part of any service or in any other manner whatsoever of goods. So technically it is saying that when you supply the goods, if you skip this portion, then what is the continuation? Supply of goods. This word supply, and then what? Goods. When you supply the goods as part of any service, so technically it is a mix. It is not 100% goods and it is not 100% services. It is a mix of goods and services. So when you supply the goods, just like service, and the name of that good is what? Being food or any other article for human consumption, or any drink other than alcoholic liquor for human consumption, because alcoholic liquor for human consumption is not a part of GST, so that is not covered here. But you supply any food or any drink as a part of service, and where such supply or service is for cash, deferred payment, or other valuable considerations. Technically, you are earning something. So technically, can you tell me which type of service is being talked about here? It is nothing but restaurant service. So whenever you consume food in a restaurant, and for example, one plate of curd or one plate of any vegetable costs rupees 500 rupees. You cannot say that 500 is the cost of the vegetable. It includes the cost of services also. Chef services, someone is preparing food, waiter is serving the food, you are getting the ambience of the restaurant. So the cost which is being charged in a restaurant is not 100% the cost of the food. It includes services also. And in case of restaurant services, it is almost impossible to exactly tell how much is the cost of food and how much is the cost of service. So it is a mix, you can say. It's a mixed service. So now let me come to my original section 10. And I can say that, what I can say, that the act is talking about restaurant service in my clause B. 2.5% of the turnover in state or turnover in UT in case of persons engaged in making supplies referred to in clause B of paragraph 6 of schedule 2. So technically which supplies are there? Only restaurant service supplies are there, on which the tax paid is 2.5%. So whenever you consume now, whenever you go to any restaurant, always check the bill. Always check the bill. In most of the cases, all the restaurant services providers are availing the benefit of this composition levy scheme, and that is why whenever you see the bill, you can carefully see that the tax rate which they have charged is 5%, 2.5% CGST and 2.5% SGST or UTGST, depends upon at which place you are consuming that or availing the restaurant service. Why that 2.5? Because of this section 10 subsection 1. And third, now in clause A, manufacturer of goods are covered. Here restaurant service providers are covered. And other than these manufacturers of goods, someone can be a trader of goods also. My first point is manufacturer of goods, but I can be a trader in goods also. I can be a businessman. I'm not manufacturing the goods. I'm a trader. I'm purchasing ready-made goods and I'm supplying those ready-made goods. So for such people, the rate is 0.5% of the turnover in the state in case of other suppliers. These are the special rates of composition levy scheme, subject to other conditions and restrictions as may be prescribed. But apart from these rates, you must fulfill other conditions and restrictions. You must take into consideration other restrictions also if you want to avail the composition levy scheme. But one exception is there provided. And what is that exception? The government may, by notification, increase the said limit of 50 lakh rupees to such higher amount not exceeding 1 crore rupees as may be recommended by the council. Now, original act says that if your turnover does not exceed or did not exceed 50 lakh last year, then you are eligible to opt for composition levy. But in the original act itself, one exception says that government has a right to increase the limit of 50 lakh, if they want to cover more people under this scheme, then they can increase this limit of 50 lakh to rupees 1 crore, but on the recommendations of the council. This is what my original act is. I hope language is a little bit clear. If yes, please raise your hand. I will show you the simplified language when I will start writing, but are you getting some idea that what this 10 subsection 1 wants to convey? Please raise your hand if you got little bit idea. Okay. Now, let me tell you one thing, that when you read the original act, you cannot say that you have comprehensive knowledge. I told you that even acts can be amended, and the same has been done in this also. Acts can also make a mistake. Anyone can do a mistake. So it's not that no one can commit any mistake. So there was a language problem in this section 10 subsection 1 also. I will show you where is the language problem. So now you tell me yourself. In 10 subsection 1, what the point was exactly said. They are using the language or the sentence that in lieu of tax payable by him. This is the language used. In lieu of tax payable by him. What do I mean by this? That rather than paying the normal tax, assessee, or not assessee, I should say that registered person or taxable person should pay the tax as per these rates. So when you read this point, in lieu of the tax payable by him, what do you mean by this? Now under section 9, there are only 3 different situations: forward charge, reverse charge, electronic commerce operators. Reverse charge cases are excluded here, because in the second line it was mentioned that subject to the provisions of subsection 3 and 4 of section 9. So reverse charge mechanism cases are excluded here, that any person who is paying the tax under reverse charge basis in respect of some supplies, then on those supplies you cannot pay the tax under composition levy scheme. I will show you this with the help of the example when I will start writing. But other than reverse charge, all the cases are covered by default. So whether it is forward charge or whether electronic commerce operator is supposed to pay the tax. So even if you go by this language, even electronic commerce operator who is supposed to pay the tax can pay the tax as per this scheme. But this language was rectified in the CGST Amendment Act, where it was clearly mentioned that in lieu of the tax payable by him as per section 9 subsection 1. So government wanted to make clear one point, that this composition levy scheme is applicable in respect of those supplies on which tax is required to be paid under section 9 subsection 1, that means as per reverse charge basis. Now you might not have understood the detailed point, but let me show you what Amendment Act now, and then you see the difference, that what change has been done. So let me show you the Amendment Act. So if you can see, this is the Amendment Act. The CGST Amendment Act, it is not the original act. So I will show here that what problems, sometimes problems can be left in the act also. Even Parliament can commit, or even Legislative Department of the Government of India, Ministry of Law and Justice can commit some mistakes in framing the languages. Anyone can commit the mistake, it is not a problem. But how they rectify it? Now let me show you section 5 here. Now this is section 5 of the Amendment Act, CGST Amendment Act. How do I read it? Amendment of section 10. Section 10 of which act? Original act, CGST Act. And this 5 is what? It is not fifth point. I should not call it as fifth point. It is section 5 of the CGST Amendment Act, which has amended section 10 of the CGST Act. Principal Act means original act. I have shown this earlier also. This is how I will read that section 5 of the CGST Amendment Act has amended section 10 of the CGST Act. And what change they have done? They say that in subsection 1, which I was reading earlier from the original act, for the words in lieu of tax payable by him, I showed you that there was a problem here. In lieu of tax payable by him, they have changed it. The words bracket and figures in lieu of tax payable by him. The new language is what? In lieu of tax payable by him under subsection 1 of section 9. This is what the change is. Original act says in lieu of tax payable by him. That's it. But the rectified language says in lieu of the tax payable by him under section 9 subsection 1, because the government wanted to make sure that this composition levy scheme is only for those suppliers who are liable to pay the tax to the government of India under section 9 subsection 1 on reverse charge basis. So this is one change, or this is how they have rectified the mistake. Because when they only include this point in lieu of tax payable by him, then all the cases are covered, whether forward charge or electronic commerce operator, which are supposed to pay under section 9 subsection 5. But when they have specifically written now under section 9(1), then by default electronic commerce operators are excluded from this composition levy scheme, who are supposed to deposit the tax with the government of India under section 9 subsection 5. I hope you are getting a little bit idea. When you try to read it repeatedly on your own, then you will start getting the exact point which I am raising right now. The purpose of this is only to show you that even acts can so many times give conflicting points, which can be amended with the help of another act. This is one change which has been done in composition levy. So I should not think that when I read original act, I know everything. You must read all the amendments till that day on which you are going to take any decision in this regard. And similarly, in the proviso, in the first exception, for the words 1 crore, the words 1 crore and 50 lakh rupees shall be substituted. So this is another change which they have done. If you remember the original act, the limit was originally 50 lakh, but government had a power to revise this limit of 50 lakh to 1 crore. But with the new act, Amendment Act, government increased this power from raising the limit of 1 crore to 1 crore 50 lakh. This is what the point is. Please raise your hand if these points are little bit clear to you. I showed you that the knowledge of any act becomes comprehensive and complete when you read original act, amendment acts, notification and rules, etc. So many things you have to read to say that you are competent enough to debate on this point in front of or in any forum. Anyhow, these 2 points I have discussed for you with you for the time being. Now let me start sharing with me my pen tablet, where I will start writing this and show you the simplified form of this composition levy. But you must inculcate the habit of reading the original acts. Let me share the screen now. Okay, so let us continue the discussion now, and you can note down also if you want to note it down. So the discussion which is going on is on composition levy scheme. It is section 10 of the CGST Act. Now, there are two cases of this scheme. One is known as normal case and one is known as special case. This case is for later discussion. I have not yet discussed with you, so I will not discuss this special case. Right now, my concentration will be on normal case. Now, what is this composition levy? One thing is sure that it is just like presumptive taxation, where to reduce complexities, to reduce some compliances, to minimize the expenses of the small businessman, or you can say middle businessman, to simplify the provisions of GST laws, this scheme is there. And what are the conditions to avail this scheme? First point, if you remember the act, supplier must be a registered person. This is first condition. You cannot be unregistered. You must be a registered person. So the supplier of goods or services must be a registered person. This is one thing. Second condition is what? If you remember the act, we have to keep in mind now section 10 subsection 1 from the original act. So I'm simplifying the language. The aggregate turnover of preceding financial year, preceding financial year cannot exceed rupees 1.5 crore. And in some cases, it should not exceed rupees 75 lakh. In 8 special category states, which are like 8 special category states, which are Arunachal, Meghalaya. Basically, these are northeastern states. Mizoram, Manipur, Tripura, Sikkim, any other example? Arunachal, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Manipur, Tripura, Sikkim. Any other example of northeastern state? Assam will not be there in this case. Nagaland. And one hilly state of North India, Uttarakhand.
Sir, Jammu and Kashmir.
जम्मू नॉर्थ ईस्ट में थोड़ा ना यार, Uttarakhand. These are the states. In these 8 states, if there is any businessman in these 8 states, and if the turnover in the last financial year did not exceed 75 lakh, then this year that person can avail the composition levy scheme if he or she is willing. Other than these 8 states, anywhere in India, then the limit is 1.50 crore rupees. This is the point. But the point main is what? Now, My current year is 2021. This is my current year. My current financial year is what? My current financial year is 2020-21. April 20 till March 21. This is what my current year. If I want to avail to pay tax in this year, if in this year I want to avail the scheme, then this year's turnover is not necessary to check whether I am eligible or not. My eligibility depends upon last year's aggregate turnover. So last financial year is what? Last or previous financial year in my example is what? 2019-20. So if last previous year financial in 19-20, if this year's aggregate turnover was, for example, 90 lakh, and the person was in Uttar Pradesh, then the point is, am I eligible to opt for composition levy scheme this year? Answer is yes. Yes, I can avail the option of composition levy scheme because last year my turnover did not exceed 1.50 crore. So to check whether this year you can pay the tax under composition levy scheme or not, it does not depend upon this year's turnover, whether you are eligible to pay the tax or not under composition levy scheme. It depends upon last year's turnover. If last year turnover did not exceed 1.50 crore or 75 lakh as the case may be, then this year you can pay the tax as per composition levy scheme. This is one point. I hope the point is clear. If you have any problem, you can unmute and ask me. That if this year you want to pay tax under composition levy scheme, then this year's turnover does not matter. You have to check, as far as your eligibility is concerned, you have to check last year's aggregate turnover, whether that last year's turnover exceeds 1.50 crore rupees or 75 lakh, depending upon in which state you are doing the business. It will tell you the eligibility to pay tax this year under composition levy scheme. Now, next point. If, for example, you are eligible to pay the tax under composition levy scheme, then what are the rates? So what are the rates of CGST? What are the rates of CGST under composition levy scheme? Do you remember those rates which are written in the act? What are the rates? So there were three categories. You can be a manufacturer of goods. You can be in supply of services in a restaurant. Other than manufacturers and restaurant service suppliers, there can be other eligible suppliers. Now, what is the maximum rate as per the act? As per the act, what is the maximum rate? Do you remember maximum rate? In manufacturer, the rate was 1% of If you remember the act, turnover in a state oblique UT. This is what is written in the act. In case of restaurant, do you remember the rate, maximum rate? 2.5% of turnover in a state oblique UT. And in other supplies, do you remember the rate? 1% of turnover in a state oblique UT. This is what the act says, but this is the maximum. Currently, what is the rate? So current rate as per the rules, as per CGST rules, act says that it is maximum, but rates which are as per prescribed rules. So these are the rules. In manufacturer, the maximum rate can be 1%, but currently it is 0.5% of turnover in a state oblique UT. So this is one change. That maximum is 1%, but government has not gone to the maximum till today. Government says only pay 5% central tax. For restaurant, it is same. Whatever is the act prescribes, that is the exact rate imposed currently. 2.5% of turnover in a state oblique UT. And as far as other eligible suppliers are concerned, the rate is 0.5%. I think, let me correct it, this rate is not 1% even in the act. I think, let me see the act. Do you remember this? I think this rate is 0.5%. Even in the act, the rate is 0.5. Let me read this through the act. For the timing, not 0.5%. So here also it is 0.5% of not turnover. The change is what? Of turnover of taxable goods or services. This is the main point. Now see what is the difference. In manufacturing, whatever is your turnover, whatever is your sales, whether that sale is tax free or taxable doesn't matter, but whatever is your sale multiplied by 0.5% is the CGST which you have to pay to the government in case you are opting for composition levy scheme. In restaurant service, so that is why I'm saying that always when you consume any food in any restaurants, always check the bill. You will find 2.5% CGST and 2.5% SGST or UTGST depending upon the place where you are consuming that. Because of this provision only, they are charging that tax. And in case of other eligible supplier, the rate is same which is prescribed in the Act 0.5%, but Act is using the word turnover, which includes all the turnovers, whether exempt turnover or taxable turnover. Turnover means sales. It can be taxable, it can be exempt, that is another case, but it is sale. But currently we are imposing on other suppliers the tax of 0.5%, not on total turnover, only on taxable value of turnover. This is what the change is. This is what the change is. Rate is same. So these things you should remember. What Act says and what rule says for the time being. Act is not saying these rates are applicable. Act says maximum it can be applicable, but government has a right to minimize any rate. So these are the maximum, not minimum. Minimum is currently what is imposed right now for the time being. And do remember one more thing, it is only CGST rate. So what is my total GST rate? The above rates are only central tax rate, CGST. You have to add the equal amount of SGST oblique UT GST as the case may be. So effectively, effectively the total rate effectively for my first category manufacturing would be 1% total rate. For second category the total rate effectively is 5% and the total rate in third type of category effectively is 1% of taxable turnover. This is what the point is. This is 5% of total turnover and this is 1% of total turnover. Please raise your hand if this point is clear to you. Please raise your hand if this point is clear to you. Okay, now let me proceed further. Now let me assume an example. Mr. X, a registered supplier in Karnataka. And for example, he is a manufacturer of electric switches. Now, this year, for example, from April 20 to December 20, for example, April 20 till December 20, his turnover is rupees 80 lakhs. Can he opt for composition levy scheme? Then it does not depend upon this year's turnover. I need to check, for example, his last financial year, that means 1920. If 1920 aggregate turnover was rupees 1.20 crore, then I can say that yes, he is eligible to opt for composition levy because last year turnover did not exceed 1.5 crore and the person is in Karnataka. Yes, I am eligible this year to pay tax. So what are the options I have? Option 1, if I want to pay tax under normal scheme, how much tax I need to pay? Tax payable rather than normal, I should use the word tax payable. As per which section? Because the reverse charge mechanism cases are not covered here. So let us suppose that the person is supposed to pay as per 9(1) forward charge. And for example, how much is the GST payable on forward charge? Value of supply multiplied by what? GST rate. This is what the tax is. So value of supply, for example, is rupees 80 lakh and the GST rate on this is 28%, for example. Then how much tax I am supposed to pay? Can you do this calculation? How much tax I am supposed to pay? Assuming there is no composition levy, I am supposed to pay the tax of 22,40,000. This is what I am supposed to pay. Or what is option 2? I can choose to opt for composition because I am eligible. My turnover last year didn't exceed 1.5 crore. So under composition levy scheme, because this scheme is basically for small businessmen, I am supposed to pay how much is aggregate turnover this year? 80 lakh. And for manufacturer, the rate is how much? 0.5% currently, but 0.5 is only central tax. We have to equally add the amount of Karnataka state tax. So total becomes 1%. I will pay only 80,000 rupees. Now do remember one thing. Whether I am eligible to apply for composition levy or not, it depends upon last year turnover. But when it comes to pay the tax, actually, then I will not check last year turnover. Logically, I will multiply it by current year's turnover. Whether composition levy is applicable or not, it depends upon last year turnover. But if applicable, then tax must be payable on the basis of current turnover. I hope the point is clear. I hope the point is clear. And let me proceed now. Some notes which you should remember. Some points which you should remember. One point. GST total is how much? Under composition levy, what points you should note? Those rates are only CGST rate. So always add CGST plus equal amount of SGST oblique UTGST. This is one point. Second point, if you remember the act, if any supplier is engaged in not applicable, in respect of those supplies not applicable, NA means not applicable, in respect of those supplies which are supplied on reverse charge basis. Which are supplied on reverse charge basis. It's not applicable, which are supplied on reverse charge basis. For example, let me continue the same example. Continuing the same example. Where the supplier was Mr. X. Where the supplier was Mr. X was this supplier. Let me continue the same example. 80 lakh was current year turnover. Current year's aggregate current year turnover 80 lakh. Now, for example, if you remember reverse charge cases, maybe rupees 8 lakh is the value of supply which he has received, which is received by Mr. X from Mr. Y, and Mr. Y was unregistered. Or even if registered, doesn't matter. Whether Mr. Y is unregistered, registered, doesn't matter. But for example, whether under section 9.3 or 9.4, doesn't matter. But this supply is taxed on reverse charge basis, where X has to pay the tax. X is liable. For example, X is liable. Then the question arises, can he opt to pay tax under composition levy scheme? This is my question. Can he opt to pay under composition levy scheme? Answer is yes. But not in respect of this supply. The government says pay the GST on this value which is on reverse charge basis as per the applicable rate. As per the applicable GST rates. Because this is the reverse charge mechanism supply. Technically, it is not your turnover. Your job is only to deposit the tax. So don't apply the composition tax rate on this value. So this, let me rather assuming 8 lakh, let me assume 10 lakh, otherwise there will be confusion. Let me assume that I purchased something of 7 lakh rupees. So this 7 lakh purchase on which I am supposed to pay tax under reverse charge, I should pay the tax which is applicable. Not the composition scheme is not applicable on this value 7 lakh. Composition scheme is applicable, will continue to be available on my turnover which is 80 lakh. Because Act says that all the supplies which are on which you are supposed to pay the tax on reverse charge basis, then you have to pay the tax as per the normal tax rates. Don't apply the tax rates of composition levy scheme on those supplies. But your own supplies, if you are covered under or if you satisfy other conditions of composition levy scheme, then on your own supplies, there is no problem. You can pay the tax as per composition levy scheme. This is what the point is. I hope this point is also clear. And so most of the points which are covered are this. Yes. And 2 points I can discuss later on. Still, the meaning of aggregate turnover is not yet explained to you. This I will explain to you later on. That what do I mean by aggregate turnover? That is pending still today. And similarly, what is the meaning of turnover in a state on which you are charging composition levy? That is also pending. That we can discuss later on. Let me first discuss with you the main concepts of these provisions. Turnover in a state oblique UT. Okay, that is also pending. So that's all from my side for today. I have discussed only section 10.1 discussed. Only 10.1, that how composition levy is applied, applicable or eligible in which cases, depending upon the state where the assessee is doing business, what should be the turnover of last year to make sure that currently or in current year you can pay tax as per composition levy scheme. That's all from my side for today. In case you have any problem, you can ask me, and otherwise goodbye for today, and tomorrow I will discuss or continue with the discussion on composition levy scheme. I have covered only section 10 subsection 1 with you in detail, and what we have covered is sufficient for your level. Thanks.